serial shocker. After spending 17 years in prison, Adnan Syed, whose case became famous with that popular podcast, he's getting a new trial. ABC's Lindsay Davis here with the latest. Good morning, Lindsay.
Good morning, George. Social media is abuzz with Serial fans sounding off about the subject of the first season of the Serial podcast getting a new trial. Some are celebrating, some say he's still guilty, but just about everyone seems to agree that the podcast deserves a lot of the credit for the retrial. This morning, convicted murderer Adnan Syed is getting a second chance to prove his innocence, now that a judge in Baltimore has ordered a new trial for the subject of the 2014 Serial podcast.
This is a prepaid call from
Adnan Syed.
Syed's story captivated millions of listeners. In 1999, at just 17 years old, he was convicted and sentenced to life in prison for murdering his high school ex-girlfriend, Hae Min Lee.
It is what it is. If someone believes me or not, I have no control over it.
All along, he's maintained his innocence. And while his initial attempts to appeal were unsuccessful, now, at 36 years old, after spending more than half of his life in jail, a judge has signed the order for a new trial.
The conviction is erased. It's gone. He's not, as of this day, he's not convicted anymore.
In the order, the judge cites the defense's decision to not cross-examine a state witness about the reliability of cell tower evidence. The judge also questions why the defense had not spoken to a possible alibi witness, a major plot point in the podcast.
If there was some technicality, something that would prove his innocence, great,
But I think, Asia, you might be that technicality.
Asia McClain, a classmate of Syed's, says she was with him in the school library at the time prosecutors allege Lee was killed.
Do I think Adnan killed Hae? Honestly, I couldn't tell you. By coming forward, I hope that I was able to provide enough information to the judge for him to be able to make a rational decision.
On Thursday, McClain, who just gave birth, tweeted, "Wow, I'm speechless. New baby, new trial."
Statistically, it was over. So we have come back from that. I can't emphasize enough that there's a lot more work to be done, but we're feeling pretty confident.
The Maryland Attorney General's office released a statement to ABC News saying the state's responsibility remains to pursue justice and to defend what it believes is a valid conviction. Lee's family has long said they believe Syed was the killer. George.
Thanks, Lindsay. And joining us now, Adnan Syed's attorney, C. Justin Brown. Mr. Brown, thank you for joining us this morning. Have you had a chance to speak to your client?
Actually, I have not. My office has been, we've been trying to reach him in the prison, but so far we haven't had any luck. If I had to guess, though, I would imagine word has made its way to him, and he knows about the decision.
You're going to have a new trial. First challenge, getting your client out on bail. How likely is that?
We are just starting to look into that, and I think we have a very compelling case, though, that if that's what we try to do, that he's not a flight risk and he is not a danger to the community, and therefore he should be allowed out on bail.
Would you be getting this retrial right now if it weren't for the podcast Serial?
It is undeniable that the podcast has helped us, and it's generated so much interest in the case, and it's generated so much new investigation that I would say, but for the podcast Serial, we would not be sitting where we are today.
And what's your biggest challenge going forward in this retrial? No guarantees.
No, I mean, it's a new trial. I think even before we get to that stage, though, it's possible, if not likely, that the state would want to appeal the judge's decisions. But we are pretty confident that the opinion is very solid, and it's based on the facts, it's based on the law, and we feel pretty good about the fact that it will hold up in the appellate courts.
And what's the number one move you're going to make that wasn't made in that original trial?
As the judge pointed out in his opinion, there are very substantial questions about the reliability of the cell tower evidence that the state introduced at trial. And it would be a no-brainer for us to try to initially get that thrown out.
Are you confident your client didn't commit this murder?
I am. I've been representing Adnan for almost 8 years now. He has always maintained his innocence, and you get to know someone over that amount of time. I have full confidence in his innocence.
Mr. Brown, thanks for joining us this morning.
My pleasure. Thank you.